That would be pretty annoying. All right, joining me right now, Eddie Scarry, media reporter for the Washington Examiner. He's been following all the Donald Trump stuff. How you doing, Eddie?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
You know, just following Donald Trump as he works his way through the media world. Doesn't seem like he's doing a lot of campaigning lately, but boy, he's talking to all the networks. So let's get right into it. Your recent column, Fusion, misattributing a racist quote to Donald Trump. Was this just some mistake by a reporter at Fusion, or is there something, kind of intentional here?
Well, right now it's a little bit kind of cool to be hammering on Trump. It's kind of accepted to call him a racist at this point because of his remarks on immigrants. But on the part of Fusion, I mean, I did ask them what this quote that basically they had a story where they said he had said, quote, laziness is a trait in blacks. And there's a link to where they got this quote supposedly from. It's actually a Huffington Post article that's quoting from a book. This book is by a guy who used to work for Donald Trump. It's kind of one of those tell-all gossipy type books. So the quote is not actually attributable to Trump. It should be from the guy who worked for Trump. The book is about from 1991, and I did ask them. They never got back to me, and they since have not updated their story to reflect what's actually true. So I don't know whether it was a mistake or not, but I know that it wasn't accurate, and it looks like they don't care.
You know, Eddie, as I watch these interviews with Donald Trump and reporters, you better come prepared if you're going to interview the Donald, because at some points he was butting heads yesterday with the reporter from NBC. How do you think his tone, the way his comfortableness with the media, do you think it plays well to middle America? Do you think that quite possibly this is going to be appealing for the average American out there, or do you think that he needs to work on and how he deals with the media?
I don't know about the average American, but I can say that it for sure appeals to, or we have evidence that it appeals to Republican primary voters, especially in the southern states like South Carolina. You think back to Newt Gingrich when he did those debates, the primary debates, where he was very feisty with the media, and he got standing ovations, and then he went on to win the South Carolina primary, I think because of that debate. So you do see that Republican primary voters, they're not particularly trustful of the media. They don't really like the media, and they like when someone who they think is on their side kind of takes it to the media. So it works for him in that sense. You see it in his poll numbers, and he realizes that. He kind of, I think, gets a little bit of a joy from doing it himself. So at least for now, it doesn't look like he needs to make any adjustments in his tone towards the media. Yeah,
it seems like if you take a shot against the media, it always seems to score you points with GOP voters. Now, according to sources, RNC Chairman Reince Priebus called Donald Trump yesterday, asked him to tone it down when talking about illegal immigrants. Trump, though, denies the reports that the call was meant to chastise him. Is the GOP scared that Donald Trump really is going to make it difficult for whoever the candidate is in the general election when it comes to the Hispanic community?
I think, yeah. I mean, I'm in Washington, D.C. I hear people that work in Republican politics talk about this. They say that they're nervous, and I think it is because you saw what appears to be a demographic change in terms of voters in the last two presidential cycles, with President Obama taking minorities pretty handily, more so handily than I think traditionally in politics and in elections. And I think that's what Republicans are really scared about. They're scared that they've had this after the 2012 election with Mitt Romney losing. You had the RNC saying that they were going to take a more deliberate approach to outreaching toward minority communities. So they're nervous about Donald Trump or anyone really coming out and kind of jeopardizing that effort.
You know, Eddie, I really think that Donald Trump is rewriting the playbook in some ways. He's not really campaigning out there, but he is getting to voters through these national interviews, and he's making headlines every single day. Eddie Scarry, thank you so much from the Washington Examiner. Great job as always. And you're watching Newsmax TV. More talk about Trump and also the talks in Iran.